given credit. You see, in the old days, we have all scientific theorists not convince the world. Therefore, others have done that, and we are just following. In India, we have wonderful science, telescopal in Tamil literature. If you see, they have the theory, but we could not convince the world that this can be done. But those who they did it, and we have lost it. Therefore, in scientific writing, you must immediately convey to the world, and convey, not only convey, convince the world about your theory, idea, or your claim.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
Hello.
this is not scientific writing. If you want good writing, communicates an idea clearly and effectively. But it requires, clarity of thought. If you don't have clarity of thought, you can't have good writing and you can't be a good writer. Besides, good writing is elegant, readable, and stylish. You can't simply write the way we usually write. I'll give you certain examples later. It requires time. You need to, prepare it well and revise it many times. And, if possible, if you take take help from some experienced person or an editor, then, your writing will be very good. What makes a good writer is you have to have something to say. You cannot say whatever others have said, and claim it yours. You have to have your own thing to say, and it should be logical, and it should have clarity of thought, and it should be in simple, learnable style. Then it becomes easy for the reader, easy for the people, especially in science writing. People or laymen are not going to read our write-ups. Anyone who has certain background of agriculture, only those people will be able to read and understand. So clear and effective writing can be learned. It's not very difficult. In other words, scientific writing demands certain things. What is it? Who is the reader? Means who is going to read your article, journal, or reports, or anything? Certainly, there cannot be anyone outside agriculture. If it is so, then it will be, popular articles. It cannot be scientific. Scientific in the sense they may tell the science in that, but they will, provide it in a way that, even common readers can understand. They won't use much of jargon like asperism. If you say that, I feel, some Godzilla, like that. Common people will look for simple words, and that is in popular writing. But in scientific writing, we need to know. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Hello. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Please continue.
Yeah. What's the relevance? We need to place our writing or our claims in whatever research we do. It should be put in context. Then we also need to have certain objectives. Generally, people have minimum of three objectives. Even one objective is enough. But if you don't have any objective, then that writing cannot be considered as scientific writing. What do you expect the reader to take from your writing? Means what are you going to give to the reader so that he can take away and develop his research or his understanding of that subject? Then the structure of writing, Structure of writing means, introduction, background, review of literature, material and methods. Then you have results and discussions, come in summary and conclusions, things like that. If you have that structure, generally that's the structure for scientific writing. And then how does the writer convince the reader? Means style, how you are going to convince. These are the things that we are going to see now. So in scientific writing, what one writer should do is he has to read a lot, pay attention, close attention. Otherwise, we are bound to make mistakes, and imitate either the guide or our seniors initially, and then develop your own style. Before writing our research paper, what we should do is we should discuss with people, means peers or seniors. Then, if you discuss, then certain things will get clarified. We also need to have this thesaurus habit. Thesaurus means every word gets a lot of other synonyms, equivalent words. They will be useful in giving apt information or apt idea of what you are writing. So choosing right word is most important. Then we should not wait for someone to come and inspire us to write. Inspiration will not come externally. It has to come from within. Only when it comes within, you will write well, and you will be able to think well, and you will be convinced very well. Except that writing is hard for everyone. Writing is not easy. My suggestion to everyone is, whatever you want to write, even if it's a small letter. If youngsters are listening, writing a love letter is, very, very difficult. But write the first sentence, whether it is research or your answers in the examination or letters, anything, write the first sentence. That would take care of the remaining sentences. Later on, you can revisit the first sentence and then, revise it. But generally, the rule is start. Don't wait for inspiration, and writing is difficult for everyone. To make it easy, please start and writing. When you keep on writing, even if it is nonsense, later on you can revisit and then correct it. But first thing is you should write. Then secondly, you need to revise several times. In the profession of communication skills and teaching, I keep on revising, and yet at the end when I say, I missed it. Things like that, it keep happening. Especially when you are doing it on computer, this is quite possible. Therefore, you need to revise often. Quite possibly that you should be able to revise at least 3-4 times. Then nobody gets it perfect on the first try. Learn how to cut ruthlessly, in the sense, the sentence too long, make it short, and cut words, redundant words. If you have, those words should be avoided. You should not get attached to certain words. Once I was asked to write citation for Bharat Ratna given to Honorable Sharji. Then there was one word called sagacious. That sagacious, I did not write because already it was, in his citation written in the parliament. When our university wanted to give, I did not write it. But somehow people have attachment for such words. I gave a different word, which was much better. But still, I was asked to retain. We should not get attached to words, because words, they don't mean anything. There are equivalent and very attractive words, convincing words available. Can you hear me? Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. You please continue.
Yeah, I'm audible. I'm cutting the phone. So before we start, what I am trying to say is the question that one should ask while writing. If I know what I am trying to say, then it will be easy for me at the end to answer a question, have I said it? मुझे क्या बोलना है वो अगर हो गया तो लिखने के बाद मैंने सही कहा है या नहीं. These two, if you have, then it's easy to rewrite, edit, and present it.
सर आपकी आवाज कट हो रही है.
Let us put this. Yeah. You see, I'm giving you some examples.
Okay.
These examples are from recent, articles that I have edited. A study on population dynamics. You can see that. Is it visible? Can you read? Hello?
No, sir.
Can
No,
you
sir.
read?
No, sir. Please.
ये जो कुछ भी मैं बोला अभी आपको विजिबल नहीं हो रहा है क्या?
नहीं, आपने स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं की इसलिए विजिबल नहीं हुआ होगा. You share.
मैं अभी शेयर कर देता हूँ तुरंत.
या
कैसे करने का है? इधर गया, ये गया. अरे मैं इतना देर बोलना देता. आई शेयर्ड इट. अभी आया?
यस सर, शेयर हो रही है सर. प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
Yeah, that fear of losing the internet is always behind my mind. Okay. There are certain common mistakes I told you. If you are able to see it on the screen, can you see that? A study on population dynamics.
नहीं सर, अभी शेयर नहीं हुई स्क्रीन.
Oh, I shared it. Either stop
Yeah.
share.
Okay. Wait, sir. It requires some time. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You click on PPT, sir.
What people misunderstand was conducted is active voice. So a study was conducted, it should be written like that. But a study of ongoing with in relation to weather parameters conducted. Actually, it should be was one simple editing done. Then there is, from different articles, which is there. It also helps farmers for taking timely and appropriate management practices. This one effective sentence, it should be written as, it also helps farmers in taking timely and appropriate management practices and in avoiding unnecessary spraying of pesticides. So readability becomes easy flow. The flow becomes so easy if you write, grammatical sentence. There is one more example. See how it goes. It becomes the parameter contribution basically the relates with growth and yield of crop and pest population dynamics of Spodoptera. It should be rewritten as, it became therefore necessary to identify. See, I have taken it into past tense because at the end of the introduction, it is written why this research was undertaken. Therefore, it became therefore necessary to evaluate such weather parameters and their contribution, besides developing the relations with growth and yield of the crop and pest population dynamics of such. One is parameters that develop relations. So understand this. Thank God, electricity has come. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. And PPT also visible.
Hello?
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Is a fundamental step in creating a proper integrated pest management. It's one sentence only, but there are
सर
monitoring
आपकी आवाज
pest.
हेलो सर हेलो थॉमस सर थॉमस सर
Tell me.
हाँ बीच में आपकी आवाज कट हो रही है सर
अभी
सर म्यूट हेलो थॉमस सर
Can you hear me now?
yes sir please continue
Yeah. Is it visible, the PowerPoint?
no sir please
Oh.
share again your PPT then it is
Yeah. I'll share.
yes
Just 1 second. Screen share. Now I think it should be.
yes make a slideshow
Yeah. I mean,
slideshow
yes. It is visible now?
It's okay now. Okay, sir.
Oh my God. यही मुझे चाहिए था. I was all the time wondering, whether it would happen or not. Now, if you are able to see it on the screen, you will see where I have marked red red color. Fundamental itself is, is sufficient, or first is sufficient. Fundamental first means what? Therefore, it should be avoided. Monitoring pests is the first step in creating a proper integrated pest management program. It can be rewritten like that. You see, in this example, how many times, quite a few things are repeated and not properly written, especially if you see here, who have been received, means, the reader is received, aisa ho jata. It should be written who have been receiving benefits from it. Ecosystem management is a set of complex processes, and its conservation plays an important role for those who have been receiving benefits from it. Environment and the organisms are the two significant dynamic and complex components of nature. It can regulate the lives, means nature or environment can regulate the lives of all the living organisms, including human beings, who are highly dependent on natural resources. So like that, when you edit and rewrite, or if you take the help of some seniors or some person who is expert in that, it will be easy for you to convince people about your claims in the research. This sentence, once if you read the first part of it, you will get shocked. Human beings are finished means wo khatam ho gaye. Human beings are finished their all the activities in vigorously contact to the environment than other living beings. Some Kuldeep has written that, but actually it can be rewritten in two ways. Human beings carry out all their activities more in contact with the environment than other living things, or more than other living things, human beings carry out all their activities in contact with nature. If you write like that, there is some understanding, it makes some sense, and also the readability, the flow of reading becomes, quite elegant and easy. Look at this sentence. In feelings for the protection of ecosystem. Kya hai ye? Feelings for the ecosystem. It is quite emotional. In science, these things won't work. Therefore, it can be written like this. Commitment for the protection of ecosystem is the first priority of the people working in different areas, especially coal mining environment, because mining operations destroy the flora and fauna, groundwater system, and contaminate soil, water, and air of the surrounding areas. If you write like that, then the flow is easy, and grammatically it is correct, and this paragraph convinces to understand something. Okay, so what we are going to now see is, with the background that I have created and a mood I think I have created, that we certainly make mistakes. We includes me also. Therefore, what we need to do is words and sentences. We need to concentrate on that. I'll give you a few suggestions only, because this is an entire subject for a semester. So we will see what can be understood and done. Most salient and important ones I have taken, so that it can create an appetite for you and help you to read write more. Words, reduce the redundant words and phrases. Anything that is extra bombastic, it should be avoided. We need to edit words, we need to part with words. Otherwise, if you keep your words, if you love some word and you keep on using it, then that won't work in science. Science has to be specific. You can't beat around the bush. In sentences, subject, verb, object is one particular structure. I don't want to teach you grammar now. You will get bored already. What we can do is, I'll give you an example. RKR means, Ram killed Ravan. Subject, verb, object. Ravan was killed by Ram. Object, verb, subject. Like that, it comes. But it is always good to have simple sentences like subject, verb, object, so that your writing will be very easy to understand, very easy to even write. And use strong verbs and avoid turning verbs into nouns. We often have the habit of converting verbs into nouns. We will see how it is done. And we should not use weak words, we should use strong verbs. I'll explain in a few moments. And then if it is presented in the negative sentences, it will not convince the reader. Therefore, mostly, as far as possible, as much as possible, one need to write positive constructions. Let us see how. Words. Reduce dead weight of the words and phrases. Means get rid of the jargon and repetition. Repetition is what we do very often, especially in the introduction and in results. We often repeat what we have already said. Verbose. Verbose means too much of words. Verbose is not synonym for literary. Syn and syntax, in that book, it is said, if you are wordy, if you write too many words, you can't be literary. You can't be, well read. Verbosity means, too much of words weakens readability. Readability means, succinctly, precise, concise it should be, so that, we can read it easily. But wherever necessary, if it is to be elaborated, you need to elaborate that. Besides keeping the moisture in the soil, mulches can also enhance soil temperature, reduce the spread of soil-borne diseases, reduce weed growth, reduce soil erosion, and provide nutrients and organic matter. See, it is not only too many words, same word repeated several times, but that symmetrical presentation is not there. See how it is rewritten. Besides retaining soil moisture and providing nutrients and organic matter, mulches enhance soil temperature and reduce soil-borne diseases, weed growth, and soil erosion. See, there are two parts of it. One is, telling how it is helping, and in other words, how it is reducing. So these two things, you should not mix up. It should come in a flow. Then we use words like very, really, quite. Quite means very only, basically, generally. Such words should be avoided as far as possible. As much as possible, you should avoid them. Without them also, it will be the meaning will be the same. These words, they don't contribute much. But try without telling this. I'm happy. If you say I'm very happy, you may think that you are increasing it, but actually for increasing it, you have another word. I am ecstatic, I'm joyful, you can use that. Then there is one phrase, there are, we start sentences like that. Actually, you should be very careful with that. There are many students who like writing, but grammatically it is correct, but see the difference. Many students like writing, simple it is, but we tend to take up, there are many students who like writing. Instead, if you say many students like writing, it means the same, simple, four words only. Then there are two reasons for improvement of the yield, namely timely inputs and proper cultural practices. Timely inputs and proper cultural practices improve the yield. See how beautifully this sentence flows. Words are simple, and the structure is also simple, and we have avoided many words. There are certain dead weight phrases in the event that, in the event of, in the nature of, it's been estimated that, it seems that, the point I am trying to make, what I mean to say is, it may be argued that, for most part, things like that. You have several phrases, they don't mean anything, and they have lot of there are many words in that, and which stand for nothing. What politicians and especially writers, novels and all, they use such things. For scientific writing, it has to be very simple. See, if you have a phrase like a majority of, you can write most of. A number of, many, are the same opinion. Who are of the same opinion? Some people are of the same opinion with me. Then they agree with me. Three words are agree is enough. At the present moment means now. By means of. Why by means of? By. It was written by a pen imported from, say, France. So, by means of a pen which was imported from France, you need not say, such a big sentence for this. Less frequently occurring means rare. All three of the three, if you start, it is good. Fewer in number. Fewer itself means number. Like red means color only. Red cannot be anything else. Red means color. Yellow means color. You don't need to say yellow color shirt, red color t-shirt, things like that. Red t-shirt is enough. So give rise to means cause or causes. Gives rise to means causes. In all cases means always. In a position to means can. I'm not in a position to come, means I cannot come. Is easy. Uh, in close proximity to or near. In order to means to. Like that, you can reduce the burden of the words that pull the writing down and bore the audience. Then you have to be aware of certain words like assistance, utilize, say audit utilization certificate, we say in accounts. You cannot say audit use certificate. Use has different meaning and utilize has different meaning. You cannot interchange that. Facilitate, ease. And individual, a man or woman. Individual means Hindi में क्या मराठी में shakhsiyat and vyakti, things like that. They say there is a difference there. Then there is a remainder, means rest is enough, means bacha hua, baki. Initial means first. Pehla, eh, you know first and initial. If you translate it in English, I mean in Marathi or Hindi, you will be able to understand, I think. Uh, oh, 1 second, just. Hello. Avi, I'm in a class, and first means pehla, initial means I don't know. You just see the translation, you will understand that it is not correct. Initially, and then firstly. If you know the difference in Hindi, Marathi, I don't know how to say, but initially means जब प्रारंभ हुआ तब, पहले means the first reason, the second reason, और पहला मैंने क्या किया, दूसरा मैंने क्या किया, तीसरा मैंने क्या किया. Like that, there is a difference. So you should not be confused with initial and first. Attempt, referred to as, all these are more shades of difference, but you need to know where to use it. But fir bhi, even then, such a cluster of words, phrases need not be used until such time as. Why? You can write simply until. For the purposes of means for, if you write, that is more than sufficient. Then we say in order to investigate, we write in scientific writing, but actually you don't need to write that. In order to study, in order to examine, or things like that, if you write, that is sufficient. Investigation is, it means, it has connotations of something else. Like CBI is investigating. CBI cannot study certain things like that. So such differences, we need to understand and imbibe in order to write successful journal articles or scientific writing. Indicate, show, initiate, start. Currently means now, at present, when we write. Then facilitate. Facilitate means help. Endeavor means try. Sometimes endeavor will make apt sentence. Ascertain, we generally in extension we write ascertaining the aspects. So find out is more appropriate. Then too many words, but to the point. How 3 a.m. itself means morning, 3 p.m. means in the evening. 3 a.m. in the morning, instead 3 a.m. Absolutely spectacular. Spectacular itself is absolute. A person who is honest means an honest person. In our templates, we often come across word sentences like this: a total of 80 trainees. Actually, we have this tradition that a sentence should not start with numbers. But the first sentence need not, but other sentences certainly can. 80 trainees is sufficient. Biography of her life, biography is enough. Then circle around, circle itself is going around, so circle is enough. Like that, there are certain words, each and every, instead each is enough. End result, result itself is the end. Then why end result? Result is enough. The end result is, we write often, but we can avoid that and say the result is. In spite of the fact that one word is enough, although, in the event that, if, new innovations cannot be old. New innovation means new only. Period of 4 days. 4 days is enough. 4 days means, denotes, implies, means period only. Then personally, I feel. मला तरी वाटतं, we say in Marathi. मला तरी काय, मला वाटतं means finished. म्हणजे दुसऱ्यांना वाटत नाही, फक्त मलाच वाटतं. You can say it that way. But if you say personally, I think, then that's not correct. So I think, I feel is sufficient. My personal opinion means my opinion. Refer back, repeat again, revert back. All these are extra. So write, refer, repeat, revert. Shorter in length. It can't be anything in, you can't say longer in height. Length is length. If you have seen Munnabai MBBS, that assistant Wasi, what's his name? He goes and ask how long, to ask for his height. Height cannot be in long length. Height has to be in height only. Shorter or longer, when you say, you don't need to write length. Shorter is enough, longer is enough. Had been previously found. Had been itself means past and previously only. Had been found is sufficient. Then small or large in size. Small and large means size only. You don't need to write size. Like red color, small size is no. Small, that's all. And then square, round, rectangular in shape. No need to write shape. Rectangular, round, square, all these things mean shape only. Surrounded on all sides. Surrounded means all sides only, it can be surrounded. Surrounding circumstances. You can write only circumstances. The future to come. Future तो आने वाला ही है, उसी को ही future कहते हैं हम. Therefore, future means the days to come or the period to come. And then you have, there is no doubt but that, undoubtedly or no doubt, you can write. Usual, habitual, custom. Habitual जो होता है वही custom है. Usually जो होता है वही custom है. So custom also means personally like karna, or you design or devise certain things according to your taste. That custom is different. This is this custom is traditionally whatever we keep doing. Then unexpected surprise. Expected surprise कैसे हो सकता है? Surprise is always unexpected. So surprise is suffice. I mean, that is enough. Like that, certain burden of the write-up can be reduced by reducing the words or by editing the words out. Constantly be on the lookout for extraneous words that crop up like weeds. What are they? You need to ask yourself, is this word or phrase necessary? If you think that it is necessary, then you write and you can revisit, and when you are editing again, then again you can go through that. In the flow of writing, you may add certain words which are extra. At that time, we will find that it is necessary. Or at that time, if you edit those words, later on when you come, then you may find that that flow is not so very easy and elegant. Therefore you may have to introduce certain words which may not be burdened. So you need to decide at that time only, what happens if I take it out? If I edit that word out, what happens? If you keep questioning and then writing, then your writing will be very good, succinct, precise and concise and convincing. Most of the time you will find that you don't need it. That's why you need to revise it. Use specific nouns and specific verbs and specific details. We should not beat the bush around. Vague nouns are there, like problem. What's the problem? You need to tell. Simply problem. I'm doing my problem. People keep often saying, especially MSc and PhD students, they say problem is not yet allotted. My God, Teachers are not there to allot problems. You need to know tell what problem. Then even in spoken English, it is so very uh, clear. People can understand situation, approach, method, reaction, component, technique, solution, challenge, difficulty. Such nouns are very vague. You have to be specific. In this uh, table you can see, if you are going to talk about person, you see nouns are name of person, place, thing or idea. If you see that, then general is scientist about a person. More specific will be agricultural scientist. Most specific is Norman Borlaug. The moment Norman Borlaug you say, in entire agricultural world in the world would understand it is an agricultural scientist. He was such a nice person because of whom we had all the uh, food surplus now, and he paved the way for green revolution and all, we should say, because he brought in the dwarf variety. So we understand that he is an agricultural scientist and his name is Norman Borlaug. It is so very specific. Body of water, what is it? Is it an ocean or a sea or a river? What is it? If you say it is a lake, then it is more specific. But if you say Temburni Lake or Dal Lake, then it becomes most specific. Cutter, we know cutter. It's a tool in horticulture or in agriculture. If you make it more specific, then sickle, or there are other words that you can use it. There is an idea, food production, then pulses, or if you say chickpea, then it is most specific. Chickpea, or you can use other words also. Means you have to be most specific most of the time. In scientific writing, a sentence uses one main verb to convey central action. Without that verb, the sentence would collapse. If you don't have that verb, that sentence is gone. Like I have given you one example, was conducted. The verb is the engine that drives the sentence. Without the verb, the sentence won't mean anything. Dull, lifeless verbs slow the sentence down. If you use, certain verbs which will not, help you progress further in the sentence or in the thought process. Therefore, we used to have action verbs, like reflect the action they are chosen to describe and help bring the reader into the story. You always need to bring the reader into your writing so that he understands what you want to tell. Like you see, I do one example. Cutting the branches of the trees increase the growth of the leaves. That's no problem. Grammatically it is correct. But since you are writing to audience who are agriculture people, those who are in the field of agriculture or horticulture and allied subjects, they know what is topping. Okay, topping the trees induced profuse leaf growth. So we give lot of meaning, and then use not so much as jargon. Sometimes nowadays they are writing beheading instead of topping. And I asked some professors of our university, they say it is correct. But in my understanding and in what I have studied, uh, I understand that topping is the perfect word. I have given the meaning also here. I have taken it from the internet. In horticulture, topping is the act of mowing or cutting the aerial part of the crop to prevent seed formation or and distribution. Most often, topping is performed in order to control a temporary cover up and prevent it from seeding in the lawn or in other places. In sometimes I have seen quite a few trees, especially neem and curry leaves, moringa. These are chopped, and then they look not not a single branch or leaf. And later on, in 2 3 months' time, if you see the profuse growth of leaves, that activity is called topping. So if you write topping the trees induced profuse leaf growth, then it is not only scientific, it gives lot of meaning, and it carries the actual meaning that one wants to convey. We should not kill verbs or adjectives and turn them into nouns. Obtain estimates of, estimate is enough, but we write, noun, plural, estimates of, has seen an expansion in. Instead, if you write in active voice, has expanded, or provides a methodologic emphasis. So emphasizes methodology is enough. Take an assessment of. Instead, you say assess is enough. Verb should be used rather than nouns. We should not convert verbs into nouns. Decide, make a decision. Decide is, more than enough. Uh, Shows a peak. Instead of that, you can write, peaks. In the course of writing these sentences, if you know that negative sentences do not go very well with the readers, the audience, therefore it is quite possible that they may not get interested in what you say. So it is good to have positive constructions. Instead of saying not honest, you can say dishonest. Not important is negligible or trifling. Trivial doesn't have, you can say lacks. Did not remember, forgot. Did not pay attention to, ignored. Did not have much confidence, distrusted. Did not succeed, failed. Things like that. It can be written so that you will see how we are taking the reader into confidence while writing, or even while giving a presentation on scientific writing or scientific presentations. So let's see what we have done so far is we have seen how to what are the dead weight words and phrases, and we also concentrated how one could be specific. Then we also saw how subject object verb should be followed, mostly in active voice. It should be not in passive voice. Most of the time, if you see, politicians use passive voice. करना पड़ेगा, कौन करेगा, हम करेंगे, ऐसा नहीं बोलेंगे. They will say करना पड़ेगा, देखना पड़ेगा. They won't say करेंगे. जैसे करवा दिया जाएगा, क्या कर दिया जाएगा. Things like that, they will use, because they don't want to. Who is the subject? कर्ता कौन है वहाँ मालूम नहीं पड़ेगा. Therefore, they often use passive voice. Use strong verbs and avoid turning verbs into nouns. This we have seen, we have understood that verbs have to be used more rather than converting verbs into nouns. Then we also saw positive construction is always good for presentations, especially scientific writing, rather than negative ones. Then there are certain errors, very common errors. We are going to see a few of them, most important of them. Very often I come across while editing. So let us see how these things. Affect and effect. You see, in the north, they have the habit of, pronouncing E as earth, affect. Actually, it should be effect, earth, not earth, earth. Affect, effect, affect, effect, affect, effect. Once you practice like that, then you say affect is a verb that to influence. It affected. A noun, as a noun, it affect denotes feeling or emotion shown by facial expression or body language. If it is a noun, it influences. Say, pruning of leaves affected the growth of the vine. The vine, the growth of the vine, was affected by pruning. Understood? So if you know how affect should be used, affected as a verb, affected as a noun. Affected is verb, affect is noun also. So it denotes feeling or emotion. Affectations, sometimes we say, shown by facial expression or body language, as in, there is an example. The soldiers seen on television had been carefully chosen for blandness of affect. Means, they did not have that kind of a feeling. Effect is The noun form of this influence, what is it? Pruning of leaves had an effect on the growth of the vine. See, earlier it affected the growth of the vine. Now, pruning had an effect. It is the noun here. As a verb, it means to bring about or to cause something. This order comes into effect from such and such day. We say often that. Then we have what is called than, more than, and over. Especially in agronomy, people use over. They write superior over to. Okay, superior to is enough, but they write superior over. In agronomy, it is mostly used. In extension, also it is used. In general, people use instead of more than, we use over. But actually, more than means greater than. Over means physically above. मेरे सर के ऊपर, over my head, there is a fan running. Over 5,000 farmers attended the rally. This is generally used. People, don't understand that it is a mistake, but it keeps on in spoken English also. Over 5,000 farmers attended the rally is wrong. More than 5,000 farmers attended the rally is correct. There is a phrase compared to and compared with. It's quite difficult. Compared to seem almost same, but actually, if you see, compared to means similarities between two different things. Compared with means differences between two similar things. I will share this with Subhangi ji. You can take this, or I can share with yeah, I'll share with her so that in the group she can do it. This is most important. We often use in all our scientific writing, especially agriculture writing, when we write results and discussions, we use this. We do not know how to write compared to or compared with. I mean, more than rather than is quite easy, but this one is a bit difficult. Winnowing is laborious compared to culling birds. See, both are choosing only removing unwanted things, but here it is, compared to that. Winnowing is not culling. The act is same. The theory behind it is same. Unwanted things are removed. It is compared to, but differences in similar things means spongy tissue is quite common in Alphonso compared with other mangoes. I think in other mangoes it's not there. Since I'm English teacher, I don't know this, but I think it is specific of only spongy tissue. So there you can write compared with, because you are comparing with other mangoes, the differences in similar things. Then quite difficult one. I don't know how I'm going to convince you, but I will convince you. When the third slide comes from this, you will all get convinced of this. The difference between which and that is used to indicate a specific object or item, person, or condition, while which is used to give additional information to objects, items, people. Thomas, who is in London, means there are 2, 3 Thomases. One who is in London, another one is in Pune, another one is in Rahuri. Things like that. If you see, then which means that the one who is in London or the one who is at Chennai, it means that. Whereas that specifies that. Let us see that in the next few slides. Which is used to give additional information, and often before which and after the completion of the phrase there is another comma there. So if you remove that, the sentence can also be complete, because which indicates non-restrictive. It is optional. You are giving only additional information. So clause, it is usually set off by commas before which and at the end of the clause. That is restrictive. It defines the pronoun. Which is non-restrictive. It does not define the pronoun, but it gives additional information to the pronoun. Let's see now one example. The can that had the pesticide is lost. एक टिन है, उसमें पेस्टिसाइड था, वो गुम हो गया. द कैन इज लॉस्ट. वो कौन सा कैन है मालूम नहीं. कौन सा कैन था, ऐसा कोई पूछा तो जिसमें पेस्टिसाइड था वो. You see, here it gives additional information in the second one. In the earlier one, the can that had this pesticide is lost. Means, a particular can. It is so very specific. The crop that had weeds did not yield much. The crop is defined. Then the second one, generally the crop did not yield much. Which crop which had weeds? That is an additional information. It's like saying my farm which is at Pune is expensive. See, that's the farm I have. That is, I have an expensive farm and it is at Pune. That's the meaning of it. Okay, all my farms are not expensive. The one at Pune is expensive. That is an additional information. Pune mein hai, wo additional information. It is at Pune is an additional piece of information. Now I think this. I managed to copy and translate this in Marathi. You will probably understand. In Hindi also, I think it is quite easy to understand. The leveler that is broken is in the garage. The leveler that is broken, I'm sorry, is repeated. I'm sorry about that. The leveler that is broken, the leveler that is broken is in the garage. Identifies which leveler. मोडलेले leveler garage मध्ये आहे. टूटा हुआ leveler garage में है. The leveler which is broken is in the garage. Means the leveler is in garage. Additional information is it is broken. लेवलर जो मोडलेले आहे गराज मध्ये आहे. लेवलर जो टूट गया वो गराज में है. लेवलर जो टूट गया, that is an information, additional information. लेवलर गराज में है is the meaning. Additional information is it टूट गया. लेकिन पहले वाले में जो टूटा हुआ लेवलर है वो गराज में है. टूटा हुआ लेवलर गराज में है. जो लेवलर जो टूट गया वो गराज में है. ये दोनों में फर्क है. That's the difference between that and which. If you keep practicing, probably you will understand that where to use which and where to use that. Writing is an art, but when it is writing to inform, means not only inform and convince others, it comes close to being a science as well. So it is not only an art, it also becomes a science if you are going to convince others and inform others. In certain writing, for your own joy, you write. Like for your own joy, you dance. That is an art. And for others' joy also, you keep dancing. There is no science in that. You are doing in both cases the same. But if you are going to inform others and convince others, then you will follow certain things, and those things matter in scientific writing. If you have any questions, Shubhangi ji, from the audience, I'll be able to answer. Hello. Hello. Yes, Neha Goswami.
Yes,
Please
yes.
ask me. Hello.
I request to all participants, if you have any questions, please drop into the chat box, please.
I don't know how to come to this. इसको बड़ा कैसे करना है?
किसको सर?
Huh?
Slideshow.
Slideshow. Stop sharing your screen
No.
sharing. Slideshow बंद करूँ का?
आपको बड़ा करना है या क्लोज करना है सर?
नहीं, मुझे कुछ नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है. Your photo is visible. That's all. But I don't mind if
You
if people can ask
stop
questions.
sharing, sir. Please stop sharing.
Stop sharing. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Goswami, Neha from Shetalende. Should we use passive voice while writing summary of experiment? Passive voice must be avoided all the time. In introduction, it should be, most of the time it should be in the uh, active voice, and in the results maybe in some places you can write passive voice, but generally passive voice has to be avoided. Please give difference between without taking much time, without not taking without not taking much time itself is, grammatically not correct, and even sense wise it makes no sense. For style, we often use, without being immodest. I would like to tell you something. Without being immodest means modestly. I would like to tell something. Without being immodest is a style of saying something. But without not taking much time means what? Quickly. It has to mean like that. Two negatives make positive. But that is not correct construction. Without taking much time is correct. Please give difference between without taking much time, without not taking much time. That's our informative. Say thanks, Sweta ji. Should we use passive voice while writing summary of experiment? No. Always write uh, active voice. Wherever necessary, write passive voice. It is not, absolutely banned, but it does not involve the author or the one who is experimenting. Therefore, it is. And then, oh, because I have completed in 1 hour, not to, prolonging it to 1.5 hours, people started thanking me. Anyway, I'm quite happy that, with the kind of electricity fluctuations, I thought today I may not do some justice, but God has helped me. At least, something I could do. And I was rushing in, complete that. But I am happy.
It is a request to all participants. If you have any questions, please ask through chat box. Otherwise, drop the questions in a chat box.
Yeah, my email is also there. I have given my phone number, that is WhatsApp. Any of you want to, ask doubts, I can, clear there also. Sometimes, people don't like to ask questions in public.
Sir, there is one question from the Mami sir. Which are the most impressive word to be used in scientific writing?
Impressive word.
Yeah.
Can. I can. You can. Anybody can. That's the best word. ऐसा कोई word नहीं है कि attractive word, bombastic word. The situation or the moment of your research demands certain words. Only such words can be used. Otherwise, मराठी में मुझे सबसे पसंदीदा word है चौकशी. Do you know why? When I came down to Pune for the first time from Orissa, I got down at Pune station and I asked someone in English. My English then was, so very bad, but still, he said, "Tikde chaukashila vichara." He must have told. Later on, I understood like that. उस time मुझे समझ में नहीं आया. I thought चौकशी is name of a girl. तो मैं वहां जाके चौकशी, good evening चौकशी, when I said, Sir, my name is not Chaukashi, she said. So, उस time से Chaukashi मुझे पसंदीदा word. But in scientific writing, there is no such thing as, सबसे best word. ऐसा कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Any word that can convey your idea, your meaning is the best word. Can we have your help in future for us? Oh, why not? Shubhangi ji, please share my number with everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
If they
I will
want,
share on
they can.
WhatsApp group, sir.
Someone is
Yeah.
calling me now. I cannot, you know, uh, attend that call now.
I will share on WhatsApp group, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Please share my
Yeah,
number.
yeah.
If they have anything, they can ask me.
Okay.
Can you share your email? My email is already given. thomas.vivian@gmail.com. I will type if you want. thomas.vivian. That's my email. 9527999527. That's my phone number.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
I think there is no more questions.
Thanks, Shubhangi.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
God
you very
bless
much,
you.
sir. Yeah.
You are coordinating very well.
Yes, sir. Thank
आप
you.
आपको कोई ट्रेनिंग की जरूरी ही नहीं है.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I would like to say.
One question has come, sir.
Yeah.
How to choose words for the title of the paper that are easy to understand for the target readers and people? Oh my God! See, title has to be as short as possible and as narrow as possible. Like you cannot write study of pomology. you know or pomology, simply one word. Thomas told me that title has to be shortest. So if you write simply pomology, it means nothing. You have to write the entire history of systematic and scientific cultivation of flowers or something. Therefore you need to write specific to the area, specific to the problem. Diseases means you take one disease or two diseases occurring in, say, chrysanthemum and Narayangam of Maharashtra, Narayangam taluka of Pune district, something like that. So title has to explain or generally give the theme of your thrust of your research or research of your paper. And it should also be so very narrow, in the sense you should narrow it down to one or two things only. You cannot write the entire thing. That's how titles are written. Title is actually one sentence summary of your research. Yes. Then, sir, cannot, can't, the meaning differs. No, it doesn't differ. Cannot is one word, can't is also one word. Can't is the shorter form of cannot. And can't is used in spoken language. I can't do it. You can say, I cannot do it. If you say, me karu shakat nahi. If I say, an outsider in my outsider can, when he speaks Marathi, he can use Marathi like that. This is also like that. Grammatically perfect sentences. In Marathi also we say Kona Stauk, but when we say Kona Stauk, we say. So it's a shortened form of that. Both are grammatically correct, but in written form we use cannot. In spoken form we use can't. Good question. I liked that question. We generally make that mistake.
Yeah.
But if you want to be emphatic in refusing, I can't do it. If you want to, I cannot do it. That time, in spoken English also, you can say that I cannot do it. But generally, people say, I can't do it. It can't be done like that.
Okay, sir. I think there is no more
Yeah.
questions. Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
everyone.
Thank you.
I thank God for the, you know, return of electricity and internet. Thank you, Shubhangi.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Mr. Thomas Vivian, sir, for enlightening us with their knowledge and informative things. It gave deep insight into the topics related to language of scientific writing, how to avoid the common mistakes while writing. It was really informative topic and covered the all aspects regarding the writing and mistakes while writing the research paper. So once again, on behalf of CAST and our whole team, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Also, I thanks to all faculty and students present here for the attending this session. Thank you. Have a nice day. And tomorrow our session will start at 11 o'clock and topic is project design and proposal writing, and expert is Dr. S.K. Wadkar, assistant professor from Vamicon, Pune. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.